Pickles was not a bad kitten. He was just a very curious one. He was particularly curious about the warm, dark brown liquid that his human, Brenda, drank every morning. It smelled so rich and earthy, a lot like the dirt in the potted plant he was forbidden to use as a litter box. One day, Brenda left her mug on the end table, a mere kitten leap away. The siren song of the mysterious brown puddle was too much. Pickles, with the grace of a tiny ninja, launched himself onto the table. He dipped a tiny pink paw in and licked it clean. The taste was bitter, but underneath was a strange, exciting warmth. He dipped his whole face in and took a long, brave sip. Brenda came back to find Pickles looking very pleased with himself, a brown ring around his tiny mouth. "Pickles!" she cried. "Bad kitty!" But Pickles wasn't listening. A strange energy was bubbling up inside him. He felt like his legs had springs in them. He suddenly needed to go somewhere. He tore off the end table and shot across the living room carpet, a brown, fuzzy blur. He ricocheted off the sofa, scrambled up the curtains, and slid down the window with a triumphant squeal. This was just the warm-up. For the next 8 hours, the house was a caffeinated blur of kitten chaos. Pickles chased a dust bunny so intensely, he became one with it, a rolling, dusty ball of fury. He attacked his own tail with the ferocity of a wild jungle cat, spinning in a tight circle until he got dizzy and fell over, only to pop back up and start the chase again. He climbed Brenda's legs like a ladder, perched on her shoulder, and then leaped off in a dramatic, slow-motion arc, landing with a soft thump. He then raced Brenda's shadow across the floor, and, when he couldn't catch it, he stood on his hind legs and argued with it. Brenda, a normally patient woman, watched in a state of amused horror. She tried to calm him down, but Pickles just looked at her with huge, manic eyes and vibrated. He was a miniature motor, a furry engine of pure energy. He zoomed under the bed, knocking over a laundry basket and launching socks into the air. He then went into the kitchen and batted a spatula across the floor as if it were a mortal enemy. Finally, as the sun began to set, the caffeine wore off. Pickles' energy fizzled out like a firecracker at the end of its fuse. He stumbled, yawned so wide his jaw cracked, and collapsed into a motionless heap in the middle of the kitchen floor, surrounded by a mess of scattered socks, a lonely spatula, and the lingering scent of chaos. Brenda, shaking her head, scooped up the tiny, exhausted kitten. He was asleep before she could even get him to the sofa. She looked at the abandoned coffee mug on the end table. She had a feeling she wouldn't be leaving her coffee out again anytime soon. And Pickles, even in his sleep, twitched with a tiny memory of a day he had spent conquering the world, one furniture bouncing, sock launching, shadow battling Zoom at a time.